Welcome back to another episode of You Asked For It, show where you send us questions and we make you angry. So
that's a great new tagline.
We got a question for today. Ready?
Great. Yes.
Yep.
Kevin,
Yes.
why do you hate religion?
How long is this? Are you serious?
These cameras shut off at 29 minutes and 59 seconds.
Kevin, why do you hate religion?
I absolutely hate religion. There's many
So if you
reasons.
watch
Hold
the
on.
message recap video,
Not only that, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Kevin, as a pastor, why do you hate religion?
Kevin, you asked a question in a previous video. Would you like to answer?
Would you like
your
to
own
answer
question?
your own question?
Why
Can
is
I
religion
start?
You can start.
toxic?
Serious as can be. There is a level of hatred I have towards religion because it always draws people away from God. And I'm talking about false religions, just any religion, okay? Obviously, Judaism and Muslims or Islam and Buddhism and all this stuff is just drawing away from God. All of that is drawing people away from God. And what really, 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 really makes me upset inside, hurt, all of this stuff is because we have turned Christianity into a religion. And Christianity was never intended. Jesus did not start a religion. Jesus opened the door to a relationship with God. There is no religious behaviors. And the Apostle Paul continued that message, all of the apostles, that there's no longer any day more important than another. There's no longer any foods that are better than others. There's no longer any places that are other. This whole religious thing, to me, when I say religion...
But fermented beverages definitely are.
What if I'm a Christian and I'm watching this thinking, I thought Christianity was a religion?
Well, in some respects, we call it a religion, but that's why we probably have to define what a religion is. A religion is a form of living that makes us right with God, or a form of behavior, a list of rules and behaviors that would make us right with God, or godly in some sort of way. And like I said, Christianity, Jesus never started a religion. He came to break religion, which was even God's religion of Judaism. Jesus came to break the religion of Judaism. In other words, finish it. It's now over. Mm-hmm. It's done. Now there is no more religion. There's a relationship with God. And even if we've all grown up in church and we've learned these Christian church, we have learned religious behaviors that we have somehow thought that these behaviors make us right with God. And they do not. And the more we believe that, the harder it is for us to accept what Christianity is in our life. Christianity is what Jesus did for us, makes us right with God. Watch the Easter message. It's what Jesus did for us makes us right with God. There are no duties. There are no prerequisites. There are no performances. There are no ways of talking. There is no form.
Before, during, or after.
Before, during, or after,
Yep.
we have turned this thing into religion. And unfortunately, my dad has a saying from way back, and my dad's 85 years old, and for ever since he was a Christian, he has had this saying that religion is like getting a, what's the COVID thing?
Vaccine?
A vaccine. Religion is like getting a vaccine to keep you from catching the real thing. He has said that all the time, that religion gives you just enough of God to keep you from getting the real thing. Enough of God behavior, enough of God talk, enough of this stuff around God that keeps us from getting the real thing, and that is a relationship with God because of what Jesus did.
So when you say religion, you mean like traditions and customs and habits?
Yeah,
Mostly.
I don't know how to describe it, but those are all included.
Yep.
But I just try to think of it as a form of behavior, talk,
This is going to seem real simplistic, but the idea that you have to do this to pray, that's religion.
No, it's like
right?
this.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
That's a
Hands-
thumbs
This
crossed.
is
thumbs crossed.
This is serious prayer. This
is
is not serious.
And if you God doesn't even pay any attention to you if your hands are just down. That's what you mean.
Yes.
Can't hear
And
you.
if you're not bowing your head and your eyes are closed.
So that's
right?
religious behavior.
Religious teaching, religious
Because it can be beliefs
behavior,
too, behaviors and beliefs.
and beliefs that if you swear, you are not as right with God than if you don't swear.
That's religious.
That's religious BS.
Oh, I was gonna see if you were gonna do it.
I just about said
it. It is.
Can you do a bleep bar on here?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What?
Do you want to be on the bleep bar, Kevin?
I don't know what that means.
it's where you say
I can
something.
just say
and
whatever
it's-
I want?
Yeah.
What is it really?
Can they read my lips?
What is it? What is it
He
really?
can put a black bar over
I'll
it
tell
too.
you what, I'm not going to. No. But
It's going in there anyway.
It's absolutely bullshit. Okay? Oh, yes. It just is. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that's offensive. There's no other way to say it.
I warned people in the beginning of this. You
Where
send
you
us
ask
questions and we make you mad. that's what we do.
Oh, that's
The disclaimer was already put in.
It was.
so.
It was thrown in there. Religion. I just.
We have created these things where we start believing that one day is more holy than another day.
Mm-hmm.
Who made that up?
My birthday. It's more holy than any other day.
But it can get to the point where people, with enough indoctrination and this going over time, where people believe that God listens to somebody else's prayers better than me, that God will bless somebody's life more than me, like, right? I mean,
God's presence is in that place more than it is that place. The Spirit of God can't go into a bar. I've heard preachers say this stuff.
I like how you pointed out in your Easter message at the end when you said, I'm going to pray a prayer for us together. And you're like, not because God can hear me better because I'm a pastor, because I have a microphone on and everybody can hear me through the speakers.
Yeah.
That's why I'm the one praying right now.
and we're bowing our heads not for a spiritual reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out of the
I
courtesy
really-
of the room. Yeah.
I believe that religion will keep more people out of heaven than any other one thing, under one topic. Religion will keep people from heaven more than any other one thing.
It will
worldwide.
not. It will not only keep the religious people from heaven. It'll keep the people that are not
don't wanna
religious,
be religious.
that are observe the religion. Yeah.
I believe in Jesus' day, he saw and reacted and stated and confronted the very same thing. The most religious people he dealt with, he told them, you are a son of your father, the devil.
Oof.
Those were the most religious.
I'd like to go down in history as that.
Those were the priests.
Yeah.
No wonder they were so pissed at him.
He just walks onto
Hey.
the scene.
He tried to draw them many times.
They didn't.
because they were stuck in religion.
Religion.
We talked about this in our message recap, that these are life habits that have to be unlearned, reprogrammed.
I've got questions.
Oh, good.
Oh, gosh.
First,
Get ready to be angry.
first one. Is what we do on a Sunday a religious service?
We probably have too much religiousness in our service. We tried very hard over the last 20 years to eliminate as many of those aspects as possible. But I think that we even do. Like I say, I think we're trying to get rid of that. But for example, thinking that this is spirit-filled worship and this isn't is a religious way of thinking that isn't true.
Oh,
Well,
boy. I know some
you did-
denominations that...
You did this, you forgot this.
Well,
Yeah.
You need the second one.
that's really I love God. I really love God. I totally love God. I mean, okay.
That's what it is.
That
Okay.
doesn't mean that's not true. I mean, it means it's not true, but we can do whatever we want. It's when we start labeling it that's more surrender than. How do you know? We start labeling things and it's not necessarily true.
I think to reference a sign that's behind us, why is greater than what?
Yes.
And the answer to your question is what we do on any service we hold. Is it religious?
Why are we doing it? Yeah.
Well, why are we doing it would answer that question, because yes, it can be totally religious. In fact, I'm convinced that a good number of people who attend on Sundays come for purely religious reasons.
Sure.
Well, this is what I do on Sunday, and this is going to help God give me the front parking spot at Walmart on Tuesday if I show up and kind of appease him a little bit on Sunday. And like, I want to make sure my life goes well, my kids turn out great, so I'll go to like, there's nothing to do with it. But if we go with the right attitude of, you know what, I want to grow in my relationship with God. I want to hear what God says for my life. I want to be around other people who believe the same so I can be encouraged. Well, then it's not religious. Why?
I think this word is a very religious word, obligation.
Ugh.
That is a religious term.
Any obligation. There's no obligation to God.
What are some religious things here at Access that we've eliminated? Do you have examples of those?
Dress code.
Used to be a dress code here.
We were just talking about
I wouldn't be
Easter.
able. I wouldn't be able to work here because I wear a hat every single
Absolutely,
day.
I would be gone.
We were just talking about dress because Easter is typically one of those days where people dress up a little more than normal. And we were talking earlier today, and I said I specifically chose not to dress up because I don't want to tie into that. Because how you dress has nothing to do with how sincere and how much you love God and how much God loves you. I actually told him, I'm not bold enough to do this yet, but someday on a Sunday, I'm going to wear this.
Sweater and a hat.
With a hat and a hoodie because
it doesn't matter.
Because it doesn't matter.
Doesn't.
You want to really, really ruffle the feathers of some
Wear a
people?
Guns N' Roses t-shirt with a skull on it.
The skulls or ripped up pants.
Yeah.
Holes
Well,
in your
half
pants.
the girls on the worship team wear holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy.
Oh, somebody said to me recently, and this has to do with this. We were watching like worship on YouTube, and they go, "Oh, the singer's wearing a Jimi Hendrix t-shirt, like while leading worship."
I've done that.
And I just went,
And your
and
point?
that's what we're talking about. That's
What is that?
it's a
Jimi
religious
Hendrix is a
stuff where it's
great
like-
guitarist.
Yeah.
It
What
has
does that have to
nothing to
do?
do with it. Like,
You support NASA? I suppose you also support aliens and evolution, huh?
yeah, I do. So that's
Dress code. We used to take communion on the first Sunday of every single month. That was when we had communion. I even think like this is crazy, but I even think the fact that we take communion once a month on night of worship is religious.
And that was going to be one of my other two questions was communion. Baptism is the other one.
I think the difference between religion all gets to the why. These things aren't bad. It's what the weight we put on them.
The weight we
is
put on it,
Bad.
yep.
Yeah.
I can't go to heaven if I haven't been baptized. That's a common
that's
misconception.
And there are people who would think you can't go to heaven unless you're baptized. There are some people who think baptism actually gets you into heaven. You know that, which is a little bit different than
Child dedication.
yeah.
I had I want to
dedication.
bring this up because I had somebody ask me because I wear a hat all the time, and I take my hat off during the national anthem. I don't take my hat off when I pray. Like I try to rationalize that in my brain, like.
Okay, I would address that.
Yeah, no, I'd
With
like
this.
you to. Like
I think it's a cultural form of respect. What's wrong with swearing? It doesn't affect God at all.
yeah.
The reason we shouldn't swear is because culturally it's offensive. And we shouldn't be culturally offensive. There's a difference between dressing casual and dressing sloppy. Sloppy can distract from people listening. There's certain things of just wisdom and cultural norms, and we don't want to go
And
against
where you
culture.
are in the country, even.
Yes,
Where you are in
because-
the state would
Absolutely.
differentiate that.
But remember, it has nothing to do with God. It has to do with
Yeah.
just respecting people. So
Yeah.
our culture has this respect for the flag, you take off your hat. And it used to be in church, it was respect for God, you take off your hat. Well, that can be a personal thing. It's not a religious thing. You can wear a hat and say, no, I'm not disrespecting God. It depends.
your heart.
Well, I purposefully choose to not take it off during prayer or even in church, because I have the same mentality as you on Easter, where I don't want to feed into that a dress code matters when you're at church. I mean, don't, like you said, there's a difference between, casual and sloppy.
Yeah.
But I just had that thought. I'm like, oh, I take my hat off during the national anthem, but I don't do it when I pray.
When Paul says freedom, we sing a lot of songs about freedom. And my favorite part about freedom, understanding the freedom in Christ, is we are free. My number one thing is, a lot of people say, oh, we're free from addiction, we're free from that. That's cool. For me, the greatest value to me is I am free from religion. I am free from the law. I am free from performance. I am free from all of that stuff. And there is nothing between God and I because of Jesus. Jesus has freed me from behaviors, religion, performance, the law, all of that stuff. I'm free from that stuff. Now, we can go the extra step and be, I think that we just need to be careful because we don't want to be offensive to people.
Yeah.
So there's that line. I am free, but don't use your freedom to offend people. And that's where you're going to never please everybody.
Yeah.
You have some people, and I was just telling him.
Which is why I didn't wear this on Easter.
And it's why I specifically wore a jacket on Easter. And I told him, I'm 60 years old. I am going to, on purpose, wear a jacket so that the older generation will feel more comfortable. And so it's more for respect. It has nothing to do with God,
So it's a respect. Because I have had people say to me, they're like, well, it's just the respectful thing to do. And it's like, I get that. But at the same time,
my mom always said,
but why
is more important than what?
Yeah.
It still bothers my mom that I wear jeans on a Sunday. So my mom comes and she says, "You respect God. Wear your best on." Oh, Mom, she won't watch this. She doesn't have any.
You don't have to worry about it.
I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to say, well, you should wear your very best for God. I've shared this before. My very best is camouflage. I have a camouflage jacket that's $400. I have it.
Way more expensive than
my
a suit.
very best is camo. I'm not going to wear camo on a Sunday morning. It'd be too distracting.
Yeah. Well, no, none of us will see you.
I'm hiding from the stupid people.
Here comes the angry again.
Well, again, we can say whatever we want. We threw the disclaimer out at the beginning of the episode. We warned you. If
you saw this coming.
If you are still around to this point in the video and you are angry, we literally told you this is where we.
Hey, we have a saying around here that if you discover God in a circus, anything that's not a circus you're going to think is wrong. We really need to overcome that. That we need to find the value is in God and His presence, not in the where, what, how. None of that stuff has any spiritual significance to God. None of it. Do you understand that? None of that has any spiritual significance to God.
And this is where we talk about using, because you said is some of the stuff we do religious. Well, we always talk about doing the best that we can with what we have. And I've seen online and whatnot, you'll see some of the bigger mega churches do their like rock music worship, and in the comments people are always like, this isn't worship and this isn't blah blah blah, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
well, they are using what they have and doing the best to their ability with what they have to reach other people.
And who in the world is going to say you're not worshiping God?
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous. Now, fine if you say, you know what, it would take me a while to get used to that, or, but we all know worship is from the heart. We say this all the time. We could worship to any music or no music. Music is not the presence of God does not come in the music. What do you music guys call it? In a key or a whatever.
Yeah, chords.
The chords. Presence of God doesn't come in chords. It's
manipulated piano undertones.
Well, obviously there he does.
Yeah. That's where the spirit lies. Yeah.
That's where the spirit lies.
I'll tell you what.
He waits for the minor piano.
But for each one of us, we
Or the
have to
bass
grow
drop.
beyond that. Whenever I hear organ music in like old churches or whatever, I've been to a couple funerals and there's an organ music. It reminds me of Dracula, and it's a weird. I don't like it. Other people do. We have to overcome our prejudices and where we think is holy or not holy. because I had to overcome that organ music. Doesn't mean I was introduced to that watching Dracula movies when I was a kid.
So wherever you are, at least talking about churches and services, whatever community you're in, your music and your dress and the way you talk and what should reflect the culture, not necessarily organ music. Right? If we were in the cities, worship music should sound like KDWB and person crap like that.
I don't know who said it, but I think it's really great. If you want to know, if you're talking about the mission now, that every church is a mission, should be mission oriented. We're here as salt in the world. We're here to be a light we're here to reach people. That's definitely, there's no argument about that. But I heard one guy say a long time ago that you should go out in the parking lot of Walmart and turn every radio station on and see what is the majority of people listening to, what style of music, and that's what you should play as worship music. Makes total sense to me because there is no music more holier than another. Now, lyrics we could say are, grab a gun, kill a cop, rape a girl. That's not wholesome music.
That's most music, but
the music style. I mean, we're all on board here.
Yes.
The music style is not either holy or not holy. It's like a dollar bill.
I thought drums were from the devil.
Yeah, who made
electric
that up?
guitars?
Oh, I want to know this.
That's Satan's instrument.
Straight to hell.
If you have the answer to this, I would like to know. There's something in the Bible I don't know.
Okay.
That I don't rarely. I usually research things. I've heard, maybe somebody made it up, that Satan, before he fell, was the director of music in heaven. Have you heard that?
It sounds familiar, so I must have.
So Satan, like he's rules over music, rock music. If you know where that came from, will you let me know? I've read the Bible a few times, and I've never found.
I don't see that anywhere.
I've never found it. Maybe it's in there somewhere. I didn't find it. So if you know that, please let us know.
Maybe it's in the Apocrypha.
You guys have never heard that?
I don't think I've heard anybody tell me that, but that concept sounds familiar.
I've never heard that before.
Okay.
I thought you'd have a lot more to say about why you hate religion. We're only 22 minutes deep into this.
We could go into
7 minutes.
We could go into details depending on where people are stuck, but I think overall we pretty much said that the overall arching thing is any behavior that we think is sacred or holy, or there's no type of sacred place.
You hate it.
Well, it keeps people from God.
Yeah.
It keeps people from Jesus being the way to God.
Jesus, period.
Yeah.
As we talked about earlier.
So you want to recap the message again?
Hey,
Jesus,
it diminishes the value of Jesus anytime we add. It diminishes the value of Jesus. And we can go so far, and we've all been there, that there are some churches who they would never take a pew out of the church to put in comfortable chairs because the pew is sacred. Who the hell made that up?
There's also churches that
Stained
won't allow
glass
people
is
on stage
sacred.
with tattoos.
Oh, yeah. My wife and I do photography, and we've done quite a few weddings at Catholic churches.
Oh, you can't go up there.
Oh, no. I gotta ask beforehand, where can I be? Well, and I've gotten stern responses like, do not pass this line.
Yeah.
You cannot be over there. Don't dare go over there. And it's like, so that's what we're talking about here.
That's what we're talking about.
Why? Like,
Wait a minute.
What is special
That's
about
garbage.
That platform is like holy?
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Who made that up? Really? Or they put God's presence in a garage? Like, really?
Called a
You're going to put God's presence in a garage?
It's a he shed.
What is that thing really called? Where the Eucharist.
Yeah, the Eucharist
sits.
is the body of Christ. It sits in the garage. I don't know, the holy garage?
Garage.
Sacred garage?
But those would all be examples of religion.
And we don't need any of that to be with God.
Because
Why? Why is it so damaging and ticks me off? Why? That's the point. The why.
Because it's distracting.
It diminishes the value of Jesus' sacrifice.
Well, it's distracting.
It distracts from what Christianity's all about.
Looking at the cross, seeing Jesus hanging, that plus the garage. Like, that's what it comes down to, right?
Can you imagine how much extra time I'd have to spend with God if I didn't have to worry about what tiles to walk on inside the building?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And there's some stuff out there that's so ridiculous. Most of us probably aren't a part. Most people listening don't deal with that. But we all have subtle stuff that we think, if I do this, go
you
there.
just mentioned it in a message a couple weeks ago about just talking to God on the toilet. And I'm sorry if that offends you, but what in the world is the problem with talking to God while you're literally taking a dump?
Yeah.
There's no issue with that.
Some people would say it's disrespectful, but it's not, unless our attitude is.
Oh God, that ain't talking to God, right?
Hey,
It's coming outside.
Listen, we told you if you're angry,
I'll tell you what.
please,
I believe with
Jesus,
all.
take me home.
I'm having a baby. Okay.
Derailed.
I really, really, really believe that the heart of God would value, look forward to, and long and plead with us to please spend. If on the toilet's the only place you're going to spend time with Him,
Do it.
He would say, "Please meet with me.
Please sit on the
meet with me
toilet
there."
all day.
He would.
You're on the throne. I'm on the throne. Let's talk.
Big throne, little throne.
Okay, I'm going to wrap this up.
That's probably a good call.
Yeah. But we warned you. If you're angry, sorry. Just put it that
That
way.
wasn't the point.
That wasn't the point.
Wasn't to.
The point is to go back to the
Freedom.
message recap and go back to Easter Sunday, Jesus, period. That's the point.
Yep.
Not 17,000 different religious behaviors, period. Jesus, period. That is the point.
Period.
Yes, that is the point. So if you'd like to ask a question, maybe a follow-up to this, Kevin could probably go forever. Go ahead and leave a comment with a question for next week, but make sure to like and subscribe as well, and we will see you next week.